You haven't always been so calm and self-assured either, though, young lady.
No.
I honestly can't do it. I'm going to pass out in the elevator.
No, go. Can I make it?
Look, I can't do this.
You're fine.
Okay, you probably have to set your equipment down and straddle it.
I'm convinced that anyone who doesn't admit to being afraid here is either under heavy medication or is extremely nearsighted. After the elevator ride, you have to climb 2 ladders to make your way to the top and then go through a hatch cover. And then there's only one direction to go in. After you're up here for a while, you find out there's nothing to be afraid of. Your fear just melts away. In fact, this is the most breathtaking view I've ever seen, and I hope everyone gets a chance to come up and see it. I suppose you can tell that everyone else seems to be doing just fine, riding with no problems at all. Well, I think it's only because they got all the good elephants, and the one left for me must have come from somewhere out of the wilds of Africa.
It is the worst thing I have ever done in my whole life.
No, the wrong end.
Oh, that's right.
Here you come, here you come. You're doing great.
They won't let you forget, you know?
Oh,
They just won't let you forget.
Hilarious. That was great, though. How did they get you into that now?
The same guy, Don McQuaid.
We should have a meeting and sit down and talk with Don.
We ought to have a nice meeting with Donald.
So let's talk now. Who was the bravest?
I think you were, because you look the most terrified on top of the bridge, the same place that you went. But you
Well,
look
I
terrified.
just don't have as much courage as you guys. You know, that's all. You know, I'm afraid of everything. Heights, elephants, anything. And
But that was pure terror on your face. Everybody who watched that at home was with you right up to the hill on
lived through the terror with
Oh, it was great. But you know what, though? Even we all had our share of it. I would rather be up there in the air or jumping out of that airplane than going down river rafting or spelunking like our friend George Watson.
Oh, yes.
No. There you go.
Okay, ready?
Okay, arms straight up. Straight up. That's it. Now just straight up. You didn't turn face. Turn a little bit more this way. Okay. Now do it. There you go.
There is a certain appealing logic to spelunking. If you crawl into a hole, you should be able to crawl out.
Got a hurt on the shoulder. Ah, it's a boy.
I don't feel so bad.
There is no way anyone could have gotten me down there.
I don't understand how you can pack so many people in that room. If they had me go in there first, everyone in front of me would have been in trouble because I would have had to come out.
I know. They would have had to tie me up and shove me down there to get me in there in the first
For
place.
once, though, the camera wasn't down McQuaid.
No, it wasn't. We have other crazy people in the newsroom. In 1978, we started a very special feature on the 10 o'clock news called Segment 2. Over the years, we've all had our chance to bring that special or unusual story that merited being called a Segment 2. But no story I can think of best exemplifies what Segment 2 is all about than the story Bob McKenzie did with a boy named Marco Cordova. Here's a portion of that story.
Marco is this year's March of Dimes poster child for Monterey County. But before you begin pitying Marco for his birth defects, maybe you'd better get to know him. To start with, Marco likes to do things for himself. His little legs don't bend, but Marco has learned to do remarkable things. He can draw and write using only his feet. He's only 4.5, but already he can print his name and several other words. He's one of the brightest children in his class.
How about when you grow up? What would you like to do when you grow up, you think, maybe?
Make it a doctor.
A doctor? Well, that'd be wonderful. Gee. You got to go to school and do a lot of studying for that. Do you like school?
Yeah.
What's the best part about school?
Well, I like to do my homework.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of kids don't like homework.
How come?
I don't know. They think it's that work is not fun.
Yeah.
But you do, don't you?
Yeah.
Marco likes to play with trucks, and when he finds an unsuspecting stranger, he talks him into a race. The visitor will decide to let Marco win. Then he finds out it isn't as easy as he thought.
To bring you up to date, Marco Cordova turns 14 years old next month. He's very into playing the drums, and he is currently forming his own band. In 1986, we expanded our daily news coverage to 2 hours with the addition of 2 at noon.
And now, live from Channel 2, Barbara Simpson and Bob McKenzie with 2 at noon.
Hi, I'm Barbara.
And I'm Bob.
Our show begins at noon, and during the first half hour, we have all the news of the day.
Then we follow up the top local story with an in-depth interview with the people making the news.
And in California, food is news. Narcy David joins us weekly with food and cooking tips. His recipes are always delicious.
Dr. David Watts is with us every day to bring you the latest information you need to live a healthier life.
And on Tuesdays, Bob Shaw tells you what movie is the best bet. And on Fridays, we have the latest from the fashion world.
Our show hasn't been here for 30 years, but we have.
Speak for yourself, Bob.
Well, I mean, personally.
And of course, there is the weekend news team of George Watson and Leslie Griffith. In addition to our regularly scheduled newscasts, we've also done news specials. And thank goodness our technical quality has improved since this look at new cars with Ray Jacobs.
Specialty cars as the Avanti.
We also went behind the scenes to see what it takes to get a telephone on the air.
2. Right now, 2. 1, get the guy he's talking to.
And he's
the guy he's introducing, 1. The guy he's introducing!
In the 1987 Angel of Death special, KTVU got an exclusive interview with this country's most prolific serial killer, Donald Harvey.
Well, even though everything that's happened, I consider myself a nice person, a caring person.
And when it comes to putting all the information together on a major event, we brought you Murder in Midair, a look at the PSA airline crash. And most recently, Fatal Obsession, the story behind the shootout in Sunnyvale.
Now, just in case we've left you with the impression that news is all serious business, let us assure you we all have our moments.
I think I'll just sneak out of the national weather scene and come right back to California where that bush is growing.
Again, he didn't bring us any.
Not a sample in sight. There will be more news later, but coming up next, Dennis and I chat with the presidential hopeful on segment 2. Stay with us.
Harry Park is on a well-deserved vacation, but when you have someone as versatile as George Washington...
Thanks, Dennis. I'm going to wear a little name tag next time I come on this
George
set.
Watson.
Okay, I got it now. All right. Okay, I can do it now.
Will you come on, please?
All right, I can do it now.
Now, as these two fronts meet or clash, steady, or collude, as it were, we didn't feed it tonight, did we?
I want to hide. I can't do this. This is silly. You rolling? Here I come. The turnout was only about 51%. I'm coming out of the booth.
This is Claude Mann in Berkeley. We're a peace demonstration.
Berkeley.
This is Claude Mann in San Francisco, where a peace demonstration turns into a riot.
Why do we seem to go through this story every single year? Why do you... Wait, no. This is for the funny reel.
My makeup's starting to run, and we're going to do it now.
It's also refreshing to be visiting a college that not only is interested in teaching its students what they need to know to make a living, but is also interested in teaching them what they need to know to make that living worthwhile. This is Claude Mann reporting from the California College of Arts and Crafts in the East Bay on special assignment education.
They say with this immunization program, they've pretty well nipped it in the butt. The butt.
Plus a lot of firecrackers going off along the side streets as well.
Well, believe it or not, Barbara, these firecrackers are supposed to frighten away evil demons.
Dennis is making me do this now.
I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing.
You're sitting here snickering.
I didn't do
I almost
nothing.
had it. Did we ever do the news brief that night?
I think it took about a half hour to get a 10-second news brief on.
Was it? I think it was your fault. I'm sure it was.
Probably. But you know what? We're lucky. We're lucky that some of the other bloopers didn't get recorded.
Yes.
They run us out of town.
I love Claude when he's working so hard on that thing. And it just falls apart.
It can be fun. It can be fun. We've had a lot of time. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a bit.